Celtics trade Georges Niang to Jazz, sign Chris Boucher. What it means for Boston. Imagine being a fan of the Boston Celtics, only to see your hometown hero, Georges Niang, get traded away after a brief stint with the team. This shocking move has left many wondering what's next for the Celtics. And the answer is more surprising than you think. But here's where it gets interesting. The Celtics have reportedly traded Niang to the Utah Jazz, according to ESPN's Shand Sharania. And this move has sparked a chain reaction of events that will shape the team's future. As a sports enthusiast, you might be aware that Niang's homecoming with the Celtics was short-lived. The forward, who was born in Lawrence and grew up in Methuen, was acquired by the Celtics from the Hawks in late June, in a salary dump that sent Kristaps Porziņģis to Atlanta. The Celtics also received a future second-round pick in the move, which shed Porziņģis's $30 million salary off the Boston books. However, Niang's time with the Celtics was limited, and he's now reportedly been traded to the Jazz along with a pair of future second-round picks for rookie R.J. Lewis Jr. This move might seem surprising, but it's essential to understand the context. Niang was set to make $8.2 million in 2025, which would have put the Celtics in a tight spot financially. By trading him away, the team has erased that salary from the books, giving them more flexibility to navigate the NBA's second tax apron. But here's the part that's got everyone talking. The Celtics have made it a point to reset their books to avoid future roster-building penalties and a massive tax bill. This strategy is not without controversy, and some fans might argue that the team is prioritizing financial flexibility over talent. And this is the part most people miss. The Niang trade could have a significant impact on the team's roster for the upcoming season. With Jayson Tatum expected to miss most, if not all, of the 2025 season after rupturing his Achilles in the playoffs, the Celtics need to make some tough decisions. The trade could mean that Boston hangs on to Sam Hauser or Anfernee Simons for the upcoming season, which could be a game-changer for the team. But the Celtics didn't stop there. The roster spot and some of the savings created by the Niang trade didn't last long, as Boston reportedly signed free agent forward Chris Boucher shortly after the swap. Boucher, who spent 7 of his 8 NBA seasons in Toronto, is a seasoned player who won a championship with the Raptors in 2019. He's Toronto's all-time franchise leader in points, rebounds, blocks, and minutes off the bench, which is no small feat. Across 50 games last season, Boucher averaged 10.0 points off 49.2% shooting, along with 4.5 rebounds and 0.5 blocks per game. His addition to the team could bring some much-needed depth and experience to the Celtics roster. With Tuesday's 2 transactions, the Celtics are about $7.8 million under the second apron and have 1 open roster spot, which leaves room for more moves in the future. So, what do you think about the Celtics' latest moves? Do you agree with their strategy, or do you think they're making a mistake by prioritizing financial flexibility over talent? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's get the conversation started. One thing is certain. The Celtics' offseason has been anything but dull, and we can't wait to see what's next for this team. Celtics trade explained. Porziņģis for undrafted R.J. Lewis. NBA moves. The Boston Celtics made some bold and surprising moves this summer, essentially exchanging Kristaps Porziņģis for an undrafted rookie, an unexpected strategy that raises eyebrows and sparks debate among fans and analysts alike. But here's where it gets controversial. Why would a championship-contending team trade away a proven star for an unproven player? Let's dive into the full story behind these calculated decisions. The Celtics faced a major setback when their star player, Jayson Tatum, suffered a torn Achilles tendon during the playoffs. This injury means Boston isn't expected to be a serious championship contender next season without Tatum, so the front office made a strategic shift. They decided to offload costly contracts to avoid the stringent penalties associated with the NBA's second salary cap apron, a financial threshold that imposes tough, luxury tax punishments on teams exceeding certain limits. To start, Boston traded Jrue Holiday, who was owed $32.4 million for next season, to the Portland Trail Blazers in exchange for Anfernee Simons, whose salary is $27.6 million. Then, in an even more surprising move, the Celtics sent Kristaps Porziņģis, who had a $30.7 million salary, to the Atlanta Hawks for Georges Niang, who is signed for just $8.8 million. But the story doesn't end there. The Celtics didn't keep Niang for long. According to reports by ESPN's Shams Charania, Boston packaged Niang alongside 2 future second-round draft picks and traded them to the Utah Jazz. In return, they received undrafted rookie R.J. Lewis, who's on a 2-way contract, allowing him to split time between the NBA team and its G League affiliate. On the surface, this looks like Boston gave up a high-caliber player like Porziņģis for someone virtually unknown, potentially a major downgrade. However, understanding the financial context and long-term strategy clarifies the Celtics' reasoning. Holiday and Porziņģis were crucial contributors during Boston's 2024 NBA championship run. Still, given Tatum's injury, the Celtics recognized they were unlikely to win a title next year. Facing heavy luxury tax penalties, their priorities shifted to financial flexibility. Swapping Holiday for Simons cut their salary by about $4.6 million, and trading Porziņģis for Niang shaved off even more, over $20 million in difference. Yet, these moves alone weren't enough to get below the second apron. Here's the clever part. The Jazz were still under the second apron but used a trade exception earned from a previous deal involving John Collins to absorb Niang's contract entirely. This allowed Boston to avoid paying the disproportionate luxury tax penalties associated with going over that salary threshold. As a result, Boston's luxury tax bill plummeted from an eye-watering $73.1 million to a much more manageable $30.4 million. A massive saving, as confirmed by ESPN analyst Bobby Marks. In total, salary cap expert Yossi Goslin estimates the Celtics have cut roughly $286 million in roster expenses through these trades alone. With the roster space freed up by Niang's departure, Boston then moved swiftly to sign veteran Chris Boucher to a $3.3 million contract, essentially a bargain for a stretch big man role, something Porziņģis had filled for $30.7 million. Moreover, by giving up 2 second-round picks with Niang, they gambled on acquiring Boucher's experience combined with a chance to evaluate R.J. Lewis, an intriguing undrafted free agent who might surprise in the coming seasons. So, while trading Porziņģis, a highly paid established player, for an undrafted rookie and a low-cost veteran, might seem lopsided at first glance, the Celtics' moves are all about managing salary cap constraints and building flexibility ahead of Tatum's return. And this is the part most people miss. Sometimes what looks like a downgrade in talent is actually a smart financial maneuver aimed at sustainability and future competitiveness. What do you think? Is Boston sacrificing too much short-term talent in hopes of long-term gain, or is this a brilliant blueprint for teams caught in tough salary cap situations? Could other contenders follow suit? Or is this strategy too risky? Let us know your thoughts, agree or disagree, in the comments below. Celtics trade Georges Niang to Jazz for rookie R.J. Lewis Jr. NBA 2025 offseason moves. The Boston Celtics are making headlines once again with their latest trade move, and it's stirring up quite a buzz in the basketball community. On Tuesday, Brad Stevens, the Celtics president of basketball operations, orchestrated a deal that sends Georges Niang to the Utah Jazz, along with 2 second-round draft picks in exchange for rookie R.J. Lewis Jr. This trade marks another significant step in the Celtics' summer reshaping of their roster. Georges Niang, who hails from Lawrence, Massachusetts, was initially brought to the Celtics as part of the trade that sent Kristaps Porziņģis to the Atlanta Hawks back in June. Niang has been a valuable player for Boston, but this move allows the team to shed his $8.2 million salary, which is a strategic decision to help them stay under the second salary cap apron. On the other side of the trade, R.J. Lewis Jr. is an exciting prospect. He began his college